How can you not talk about Tobias after last night's performance? But scoring 21 points on 9 shots last night, 7 of 9 shooting, 5 of 7 from 3, shooting 59% from 3 in December and 42% on the year, which is wild. Fans love talking about, Tobias being traded because of his contract, and we've talked about it multiple times on the show.
Who says that?
We've talked about before, that it's always a rumor that, Tobias on the block. So my question to you guys is, has Tobias played himself off the trading block for us?
No.
Interesting.
This is a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So business deals can always be made. So Tobias wouldn't be the first person that's playing well to get moved. Some people would argue the fact that he's playing well is the reason why you would move him.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on how you're looking at it. So I think the speculation would grow before it would go away. You have a bigger contract, higher contract that's ending. What is it end, Teja, either this year or next year?
After next year. So he's got one and a half left.
Yeah, so
it's technically it's expiring after.
Yes. So you have a contract that's on the back end of the contract.
Yes.
So that's not going anywhere. I think next summer is even going to be even more.
Oh yeah.
So that's what he's doing right now. He's playing into more injuries.
Especially how this season.
Yes, especially how the season goes, because he's what he's doing is he's growing into
his contract,
accepting and delivering, and the role that's been given to him.
Yeah,
and it wasn't the role he signed up for.
No.
So, and he's been successful, and that's what a lot of people want to see.
Yep.
So.
He's playing confident too. He's really owning that. Tell your friend that he's a sharpshooter. So he's really embracing that role, and he really does whatever we need him to do. If we need him to go ISO for a little while because we don't have as many scorers on the court, he does it. He guards some wing guys that I think sometimes that he shouldn't be sticking with, and he does. He guards bigger guys. He's a quick trigger. He just pulls it now, and he's shooting lights out. If we find a deal that benefits us, do I think we would do it? Yeah, I think of course we would. Morey would definitely do it. Problem is, at this stage, are we going to get the deal we want because he's got a year and a half left? Probably not. I do think Eric's right with the whole after this season. It's I think grow a lot. I think you'll get a lot more shooters after this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I have an interesting question though. Because when Marcus and I were talking about this yesterday, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but while we're on the topic of it growing in the next season, the off season, as far as trade speculation, how far would we have to go to justifiably run it back without any big changes? In the championship,
finals.
I mean, you get into the finals and lose. Okay.
I don't think the conference semifinals gets you to the point where you feel like you don't have to make a change.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying too. We'd have to get to the finals and then probably lose or win either way.
And it depends on how the finals went.
Yeah, and why we lost and how we lost. Yeah.
Because you can go to the conference semifinals and lose in Game 7 on the road, and people could say, "Well, we got to get rid of Doc Rivers."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if we're up 3-1 or something.
Even if we are. If we have 3-1, it doesn't matter which round it is.
Yeah, I'd say at that point, it's hard to argue, man. I did see a funny tweet from Francis Parker on Twitter. It was a Tobias Harris apology form, and it said date, reason for behavior, and then it lists out a bunch of check boxes. And the first one is, the media convinced me he was done. 2 was, I only looked at advanced analytics. 3, I was jealous of. 4, I didn't watch the actual games. 5, I don't know basketball. And 6, Mercury was in retrograde. I actually tweeted at it and said, let's add one more. And I gave it a contractual reason. I said a contract always bothered me. Because that would be mine. So if I am going to check a box, that would be it. And at the end, I said, I will hereby respect Tobias Harris, and I will not talk down on the future first ballot Hall of Famer. But I thought that was great.
The question that Teja and I had last night, we were talking about it. Let's say, knock on wood, let's say we go to the finals, we lose or we win, and then next year comes, we run it back with the same team we have. Because we gave Tobias all that money and we kind of honored it throughout the entire time. Yeah, there was speculation that we might trade him. This is all hypothetical. Do you think there's a chance that Tobias would take a hometown discount to stay with us? Because I love Tobias. I think he fits with us.
I think he does that, but when guys are taking those discounts and they're taking them towards the end of their career, I guess he got to feel like we got a chance to stay competitive and winning championship every year.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, that's a goal here. So I can see him doing that. I mean, the Sixers would have his rights and his bird rights, so they would be able to pay him the most money. But I think that it could be some creative ways that you can do with that. I think the fact that they have his bird rights, they're able to have more creativity in a contract structure that could possibly be beneficial for both.
Assuming we would hold on to him for 2 more years or a year and a half.
Assuming he's here, the whole time. You're right.
And he's 30 and a half. So he'll be
30.
He'll be 31 this time next year. And then, going into the following season.
You're right at that stage where they really don't want to give you long-term.
Yeah, he'll be about 32.
Unless unless you're one of those top guys, once you hit 30, 31, 32, they want to limit you to 1 or 2 year deals, really, maybe 3, and that's it. Because they don't want to really have your contract going past 34, 35.
Yeah, it planned out pretty well as far as the years for Tobias. I mean, that is coming to a point where his game might start to decline a little bit at that age. So he'll be a free agent at that point.
No,
but he can shoot. Yeah. So
he's shooting well.
Yeah, and he's becoming that knockdown shooter for someone who is. As he gets older, I mean, that's going to be kind of his bread and butter. If he does,
that's kind of what we have said. That when we first, like being like full season with James, and we were saying that we felt if Maxey's going to continue to kind of be third in shots and attempts, that most of Tobias' shots were going to be spot up shots.
Yep.
Unless guys are out or foul trouble, then you can kind of change it up how you kind of play them. But for the most part, that's how his shots are going to be. We talk about that's what PJ Tucker does, but that's what Tobias should be doing too.
Yeah.
And you see a little more of that, and he's knocking them down. So hopefully that continues.
They showed his shot chart. Someone posted it on Twitter yesterday, and it was like a Morey wet dream. It was like all threes and paint. Threes, paint. I mean, some outside shots, but not nearly the majority. It was all in the paint or it was outside threes.
Yeah.
So.
And also another thing I love, just another thing about last night's game. You have the spread scoring off the bench. Everyone kind of contributed to last night's victory. Everybody who played got some points last night. So it was good to see the overall scoring.